it's Dr. Jenn here, and today we are going to be talking about how do you talk to your doctor about benzo withdrawal. So, first thing to keep in mind is we want to communicate in a way that allows the doctor's nervous system to stay in the connect state. That simply means that they feel emotionally safe. Because when we can feel safe and we stay in the connect state, that's an autonomic nervous system response. It's called a parasympathetic ventral vagal response, but you don't need to remember all the big science words. Just know safety, safety, safety. You want your doctor to stay in that safe emotional place so they will be in that connect state, because then they can connect to you. They can hear you, understand you. They are going to be wanting to really get and understand your wishes and wants and desires and how to best help you. So safety is the prescription for everything. And a good way to remember this, because I know it's a lot to trying to, figure out everything about the autonomic nervous system. So to keep it really simple, just think honey is a better attractant than vinegar. So you just want to be sweet, kind, compassionate, caring. So you don't want to put your doctor on the defensive, which means you're not going to be threatening. You're not going to be argumentative. You're going to think honey instead of vinegar. So having said that, if you are tapering, your main focus, your number one object is to get your meds. That's it. You just need to get your meds so that you can taper. Now, your doctor may not know very much at all about benzo withdrawal, if anything at all, because most doctors still, sadly, in today's age, are still ignorant. They're not educated about benzo withdrawal. That's changing slowly but surely, but we still live in a time when most doctors are not benzo wise. So you just need to get your meds. This is not the time for you to get in there and roll up your sleeves and say, I'm going to educate this doctor and get him or her on board. And no. If you've got a doctor that's open to learning, great. But if not, remember, your number one priority is get your meds. That's what you need. You need to have your meds so you can do a safe, slow taper. And there is lots of resources from experts that are in the benzo community, and there are lots of doctors now that are educated, so you can find a way to taper that's appropriate if your doctor doesn't know much about benzo withdrawal. But your priority is not to educate your doctor, not to argue with your doctor, not to threaten your doctor. It's to just get your meds. Now, I know, boy do I know because I lived through it, you may go into appointments with your doctor really kind of, ready to fight because you're angry. I can understand that. You're angry that you've been damaged by a medication because your doctor wasn't educated and they didn't know. So you're now damaged. And when we've been hurt like that, our nervous system moves out of the connect state and moves into the protect state. It's all about me. And so I get it. I know you might emotionally just be wanting to go duke it out with your doc. And you really want them to see you and hear you. Look what you've done to me. I get that. That's normal. Totally normal. But it's not going to get you what you ultimately need, which is you just need to get your meds. So do your very best to bring your nervous system down out of the protect state and more into the connect state. Easier said than done because you don't have enough working GABA receptors to bring your autonomic nervous system to homeostasis, to balance. So I get it. This is all going to be a challenge. But do your best. So you want to go in and remember, what's your goal to get your meds? Your goal is not to argue, to, look what you've done to me, any of that. Just get your meds. There's a time and a place for kind of resolving all of this eventually, but it's not right now. Does that make sense? I hope so. So If you are off, again, you may want to go in, look what you've done to me, look what's happened. It's probably not going to get you what you need, because what you need is to have a doctor you can work with to check out any of the symptoms, to make sure, just to rule out anything else, just to make sure that they truly are benzo withdrawal. So again, think about what your ultimate goal is to take care of you right now. There'll be a time and a place in the future to educate your doctor. And once you get through benzo withdrawal, you just might not even want to even go there. You just, okay, just I'm over and done with benzo withdrawal. And because everybody has to find their way about what do they do with all of this once they're beyond benzo withdrawal. So you just want to keep an even keel as much as possible, and you want to try to keep your doctor's nervous system in that connect state, which means you're not going to be threatening. You're not going to make your doctor feel like emotionally he or she is in any danger. There's no threat. But what if your doctor triggers you? That can happen. That can very easily happen because our nervous systems are so volatile. They're so hyperexcitable in benzo withdrawal. So good thing to do is you're going to feel the reaction. You're going to get triggered, whether that's fear, anger, whatever. But pause. Take a calming breath. Breathe in, pause, and breathe out a little longer. And before you open your mouth or do anything, think about how you want to respond. Don't just go with that initial reaction. Pause. And then decide, how do you want to respond? So that hopefully you've got a moment then to kind of right the wagon, so to speak, and find some emotional balance, so that you don't end up in this real volatile situation with your doctor. That's not what you need or your doctor needs. You just need to get your meds, or you need to get a symptom checked out. That's it. So, safety is the prescription for everything. Please keep that in mind. That means emotional safety. So, no threats, no big arguments. So, one thing that's really good to do to diffuse your doctor already kind of being on the defensive, or kind of closing off to hearing you, is to say, hey doc, I know that you probably get a lot of patients that come in and they've already self-diagnosed because they've been reading on the internet, and I'm sure that's really frustrating for you. However, I believe that I have symptoms and I've discovered what I think I'm experiencing because of experts that are on the internet. And I hope that you will be open to listening to what I have to say. So you can kind of diffuse it and just already empathize with them, right? Already like, I know this, this is probably a challenge, but let's work through it together. So that's a good piece of advice. Another piece of advice is to take someone with you, take an advocate with you. Because sometimes we are just in such a state, whether that's cog fog, bad memory, in just where, we just can't quite put all the pieces together. Take someone with you who can speak for you, or at the very least can help you talk. If you get off track, they can bring you back onto track. Another good piece of advice is to make a list of your symptoms. What is it exactly that you want to discuss? And take that out and go down the list. And here's the checklist, and go in with a goal in mind. I want to, get my prescription refilled, or I want to, see if they know anything about benzo withdrawal and tapering, or, BIND, B-I-N-D, benzodiazepine-induced neurological dysfunction, and that's what we experience after withdrawal is over. We have to keep in mind that true drug withdrawal only lasts for a few weeks. You have withdrawn. The drug is out of your system. But in benzo, what we still call benzo withdrawal, it's a whole different animal. Yes, the drug is out of our system, but we have all these bizarre symptoms because of the damage that the drug has done to those GABA receptors and who knows what else in our body. And that's why we're symptomatic, and that has to repair itself. So we talk about benzo withdrawal for the short few weeks that the drug is actually leaving our body, and then we discuss anything after that is bind, benzodiazepine-induced neurological dysfunction. So you want to go in and, have a goal in mind. Do you want to get your prescription refilled? Do you want to ask if they know anything about withdrawal or bind? Or do you want to get a symptom checked out? And then when you are recovered, if you want to go in with the sole purpose to do a little education, fine. But if you've got a doctor that's really shut down, it's not the time and place. And another piece of advice, if you have a doctor that you don't really feel safe with, and you can with your, with your insurance policy, and there is another provider available, if you need to change doctors, by all means, change doctors with someone that you do feel safe with. So to kind of recap, safety is the prescription for everything. You want to get in and get your prescription, or you want to get symptoms checked out. You might want to consider making a really crisp, clear list of what you want to discuss. And you might want to take an advocate with you. And always keep in mind your goal. What do I want to accomplish by this time with my doctor? And only when you're more well. If you really want to roll up your sleeves and do some education, feel free. And remember, the doctor might trigger you, because just keep in mind, these are some of the things that we hear. Benzos can't do that. There's no way you can be in withdrawal. Withdrawal only lasts for a few days or a few weeks at the very most. Your old symptom, whatever, pre-existing, anxiety, depression, insomnia, whatever, is now coming back. Or, oh my gosh, you have a brand new psychiatric diagnosis. Or it's all in your head. You're making it up somehow. It's all, psychosomatic. Maybe there's other responses, but those are all things that I certainly heard. And I know a lot of my clients get that response. I've been in the benzo community this is 12 years now. I've heard it all. So just keep in mind, be prepared that you might not get the kind of response that you were hoping for. And that's where we have to pause, take a breath. Honey is going to get me more than vinegar. Safety is the prescription for everything. I hope that this was helpful. And please share in the comments below what your experiences have been with doctors, and what has worked for you. Please avoid super doctor bashing. This isn't what this video is about. I'm just trying to paint a realistic picture as to how we can deal with the medical community while we are suffering from something that is not very well known yet in the medical community. So keep your comments appropriate, please, but it is okay to share your experience and what has worked for you. What have you done to communicate in a way that gets your needs met? And let's close this video with my favorite mantra. We'll say it twice, all right? You ready? I am safe. I am healing. I will recover. One more time. I am safe. I am healing. I will recover. I promise you, you will recover. The ultimate outcome for damage from a benzodiazepine is recovery. Our bodies know exactly what to do. And if you do need some help as you're navigating benzo withdrawal or bind, please feel free to book a one-on-one session with me or consider joining my live support group. It's group coaching and support. It's a wonderful, kind, caring, compassionate, positive community. And that's at Heal with Dr. Jenn. We meet on Discord. It's really cool. We had a lot of guest speakers. Dee Foster is a regular. We just had a social neuroscientist, Dr. Mark Brady, come and give us a presentation. We've had Dr. Jennifer Swan, Renee. We've had a few people going through benzo withdrawal or recovered to come. So we get a lot of guest speakers. There's free yoga classes, music. There's a lot. So consider joining the support group. All right, my friends, please take very good care of yourself. Put your health and your recovery first and foremost. Until next time, take good care.